Okay, I was debating on whether I wanted to make this video here in Liberty, North Carolina in the truck stop parking lot or wait till I got back to the shop. And I thought let's talk about the last video I made at the shop. It was about the drive. What was I going to do about replacing the drive? I wanted to replace it because I have the engine out and I know those parts go bad sometimes and I don't want to have to take the engine back out. That was the plan, replace it while I got the engine out. However, upon further inspection, I realized that the splines look great, so I took it down to the boat shop, somebody else's boat shop, and asked for a second opinion, and he stuck his nose on it, and he said, well, it don't smell like burning rubber. I said, is that how you tell when they're bad? And he said, yes. And I said, is that what you'll smell when they're in the engine, when the engine's in the boat, and you're out on the lake, and they decide to go bad, will you smell burning rubber? And he said, mostly. And I said, okay, well, $300 part. I can get the part $200 online, shipped in. Do I want to change it? And my answer is now, no. I think I want to keep my money in my pocket, put it back in the boat, take my chances with the knowledge that I've already taken the engine out once. If I have to do it again, I will. But until that one very expensive part goes bad, I can't justify changing it yet. So I'm going to put it back in the boat and leave it like it is. Now, what I planned to do last time I was home was sand. And then the next time I go home, I was going to work on getting the wood ready. And that plan changed because it's my shop and I can do that. What happened was I got stiff being down in that hole, and I realized that if I don't get out of this hole, I'm not going to get much else done this weekend. So why don't I stand up and work on some wood and come back to the sanding later and just kind of go back and forth based on how I'm feeling. And I did get a lot more done, and I still have sanding work to do, and I still have wood work to do when I get back. So that's where that little ball is going to bounce when I get back home. Let me think, what else am I working on at the moment? I'm going to shift gears when I get back home. I'm going to go to sandblasting. I got one part, the lower part of the outdrive, that is mostly already sanded. And I struggled with my air compressor, struggled with my sandblaster last year, and that's why it's only partially done. And I struggled with my moisture control last year. I changed the air compressor, and I changed the sandblaster. When I get back, I'm going to try to make my changes work for me for the very first time without rebuilding my carburetor. I got a gas-powered air compressor that has some carburetor challenges, but I'm going to try because that one part needs to be completely done while the temperatures are good enough to completely do it. That if I don't do it now, I'm going to get so tied up in the transom and so tied up in the reinstallation of the boat motor that I won't get that done. And I can put it back together anytime, in any temperatures, in any weather. I just can't sandblast it and prime it and paint it complete with zinc chromate on the inside and all this fun stuff when the weather's bad. So one of the first things I'm going to do when I get back to the shop is break out the sandblaster equipment and see if I can get that one part done. I did not upgrade my moisture control. I do have a moisture separator. It's not big enough for the capacity that we're doing. And I don't want to spend a huge amount of money to do something different there. If I was doing something more along the lines of painting and or gel coating, spraying gel coat, I absolutely would attack that part and get it correct before I move forward. But for sandblasting, I'm going to fight it to get this one part done, and that way I can go back to work on the transom and the woodwork. But I'm basically going to be scatterbrained when I get back. I'm going to be jumping around a lot, but at some point we'll get right back to being focused on nothing but the transom until it's done. But I want to get that outdrive at least sandblasted, primed, and painted before I choose the ability to do all that. So that's where that project's at. Have a great day.